All right, I'm going to share with you on this live the top 5 biggest mistakes. I'm going to lower down. Lower down my brightness so I don't stop looking at myself. I'm going to share with you the top 5 mistakes that I made over the past 11 plus years when I was trying to lose body fat and gain lean muscle. So if you're somebody who's trying to get toned, right, get lean muscle and lose body fat, pay attention to this because you might get some gems of wisdom from this. And it's taken me over 11 years to figure this out, and I'm going to share with you my top 5 biggest mistakes. By the way, I mentioned the word toning, and I just published a book about it. Toning is just gaining lean muscle. It's composition. It's what it's called in bodybuilding, called composition, meaning gain lean muscle, lose body fat, right? It's just the percentages of those two. So that's what toning is. So if you ever wonder what toning is, because most people say, I want to get toned, they have no clue what that is. Toning is just losing body fat and getting lean muscle. And as a result, looking quote unquote toned. So I'm going to go from lowest reason to the top reason. So my number 5 reason, one of the mistakes that I made over the past 11 years in losing body fat and gaining lean muscle is number 5 is I did not work my core and I got a lot of injuries from it. And I got a lot of injuries, my back injury that really set me back a long time, lifting heavy weights but not having strong core. So if you're going to begin to train, one of the most important parts of your body that you want to train is your core, the strength of your core. What is your core? Your abs, your lower back, your obliques, the things that's supporting your body. Essentially, when you're walking, when you're doing anything, when you're lifting things up, these are things. I was working out with my friend the other day, and I said, you only have one back. So because she was lifting those heavy 45-pound plates, and what people tend to do is when it's light or when it looks light, they lose the posture on how they lift things. So for example, if you're lifting some box, you round your back. So one thing that I learned from Dr. Lane Norton was if you lift light weights like they're heavy, you're gonna lift heavy weights like they're light. If you lift light weights like they're heavy, you're gonna lift heavy weights like they're light. So you only have one back. So strengthen your back, strengthen your lower back, strengthen your core. And because almost every exercise that you do, unless it's really, really isolated exercise, is going to require core strength. Strengthen your core and all of your exercises are going to be better. So number four reason is not separating aerobic and anaerobic exercises. What does that mean? Aerobic exercises are things that require your heart. Things like running and high intensity exercises, sprinting, those things require your heart pumping and sweating and all that stuff. Anaerobic exercises are exercises that don't require heart too much. They're more muscular. So they're things like doing sets of 10 reps per set, and they don't need your cardiovascular endurance. They just need muscular endurance, right? So what I used to do when I was training was I was thinking maybe I should combine the two. Maybe I should only rest 30 seconds between every set so that I can get my heart pumping and I can get my aerobic and anaerobic exercise. So I can my thinking was I can lose weight at the same time that I'm building muscle. And here's the thing, when you're doing that, when you're trying to lose weight while you're trying to build muscle, or trying to lose body fat, trying to sweat while you're building muscle. Now, as a disclaimer, every goal requires a different training style. So if you're going to box, you're going to require both. It's a different training style. I'm talking about just aesthetics, just looking big and just losing fat and getting lean muscle. That's it, just aesthetics, just looks. Aesthetics means looks. Okay, so what I did was I combined the two, and here's what I learned. don't combine the two. When you're gonna do aerobic exercises, only do aerobic exercises and become very efficient at it. And you get better results when you're just doing aerobic exercise. If you're gonna run, just run. Just do aerobic and you're gonna get the best results from doing just that. And you're gonna get the best results when you're doing only anaerobic exercises. Only anaerobic exercises. When you're lifting weights, don't try to put in cardio with it. Don't try to start running while you're doing, because that takes away from your muscular endurance when you're gonna go back and do the set, do the bench press, the squat, or whatever. So it takes away energy from that. So rest, on that rest period, really rest, and then recuperate, and then so you can really lift heavy on that set. So separating the two will get you better results. By the way, if you're watching this, type in if you saw Deadpool already, and don't leave any spoilers. Deadpool 2 was incredible. You gotta see it. It's so funny. It may or may not be, I think it is. It's better than Deadpool 1. And I was gonna do a review about it but I got busy after watching the movie. So if you haven't seen it already, go watch it. Funny movie. I'm not sure what the rating of that movie is, but check it out for yourself. So number 3. Okay, number 3 mistake that I made when trying to lose fat and gain lean muscle. And what that was not realizing that everybody trains differently. See, what I did in the very beginning of my training and fitness journey was I just copied those guys in the magazines. I just copied those guys with the DVDs and the YouTube videos. I just copied how they did the movements. And here's what I learned. Every movement, everybody has different musculature. Everybody has different muscle length, muscle fiber combinations. Everybody has different bodies. Everybody has different predispositions with their bodies. Everybody has different strengths with different parts of their bodies. Genetic predispositions, and some people take steroids, some people take pre-hormones and enhancers, right? So they're going to be training differently. They're going to be training different day split. They're going to be training different training movements. They're going to be training different sets and reps. So everybody's going to be training differently. Everybody's squat is going to look different. If you saw, I'm going to post a video later with my squat, and you're gonna see that I don't go all the way down. It looks like I'm not going parallel, but I'm going parallel to me, and I get to the point where it's enough to stimulate the right muscles. And I'm not gonna go into that, but everybody trains differently, and so that's what I learned. And number two reason is very important. Not managing and accounting for my calories. Not managing and accounting for my calories. I didn't manage my calories because I didn't know you could manage it. I didn't know there was a way to track your how much you're taking in. It's like this. It's the metaphor that I give anybody that I explain this to is. If you're in business, for example, and you want to make a 6-figure income, that's $100,000 a year or over. If you want to make a 6-figure income, do you know how much you need to make in a day to get the 6-figure income? Do you know how much you need to make in a month to make that 6-figure income? If you don't know, then how are you going to get there, right? So if you want to make, for example, a 6-figure income, I think the number is. You gotta make 8,000 something, 8.9 thousand a month, and then some amount for a week, and then some amount. I think it's $200 in a day to make a 6-figure income in a year, right? So when you know how much you need to make in a day, and how much you need to make in a week to make a 6-figure income. Then you know whenever you're not making that amount in a day, you know you're not going to make the 6-figure income. And you know when you make that amount in a day or over, then you know you're going to make a 6-figure income. The same thing with managing and accounting for your calories. And the calories are broken down to 3 macronutrients. 4, but let's say 3. So carbs, carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. So when you manage those three, you know where you're gonna be in your weight loss goal or weight gain goal or toning goal. And then the other thing is fiber. You want to put fiber in there. So and micronutrients and macronutrients. That's the science of that. So when you know how much you're putting in your body in a day, then you know whether or not you're gonna lose weight, and you know whether or not you're gonna lose body fat. You know whether or not you're gonna gain muscle, right? So it's a law of thermodynamics. It's a law that I explain in my book, toning book, that whatever calorie you take in, those are the calories those are the resources your body's going to use. However much protein you take in, however much carbohydrates you take in is how much you're going to use. However much fat you take in these are the resources your body is using to either build the body or atrophy the body. So if you're not taking in enough of any of those macronutrients or the micronutrients or the fiber, then guess what your body's going to not use or use whatever your goal is. If your goal is to build lean muscle, you better have protein in there. You better have enough protein, and you better have enough carbs for energy, and you better have enough fat. So what are those numbers? There's a way to find out those numbers. And so when you don't account for that, when you're eating less than that in a day, then you know you're not going to reach your goal. If you're eating more than that in a day, law of thermodynamics, if you're eating more than that than your number, guess what? You're going to gain either body fat or whatever. You're going to store energy because your body's going to utilize the things that you take in as a resource. And there's many other things that go into that, like the body's adaptation, and I explain that in my book. So the number one reason, or not reason, but mistake. The number one mistake I made when I was trying to lose body fat and gain lean muscle is this. It's not having a clear goal. Because having a clear goal, for example, when you go into the gym, do you have a clear goal as to what you want? Do you have a clear goal? Once you get a clear goal, you know what you want, you know what your goal is, then you know what kinds of workouts you're going to do, and you know whether or not to either combine aerobic and anaerobic exercises. You know whether or not to combine them. So, when you go into the gym without a clear goal, you're going to pretty much do a lot of things that are not supportive to that goal. You're going to combine, for example, if your goal was to become more athletic or endurance, or your goal was to box or to be good at football, to be good at basketball, those are different goals, and you require different trainings for those very different specific goals. If your goal is to just aesthetic, just look good, look lean, lose body fat and look composition, lose body fat and gain lean muscle, then you have a very specific goal too, right? You don't want to combine aerobic and anaerobic exercises. You want to separate them. So you become very efficient. So number one mistake that I've made was not having a clear goal. So what you want to do with your weight loss or weight gain or toning goal is to have a clear goal. What do you want? Do you want just aesthetics? Be clear about it. Do you want just aesthetics, or do you have a different goal? Do you want to run? Do you want to increase your endurance with your heart, right? So these are very important goals. So if you're going to increase the endurance of your heart, the cardiovascular health, then you're going to run more than what I do. For example, I barely do any cardio. Maybe I run once a month, right? Because I don't have that goal, right? And by the way, they all work synergistically, but you become more efficient at everything. So I'm going to end it at that. And what I'm going to do, by the way, if you direct message me, I don't have enough people watching this, so I can afford to do this special thing. I can afford to do this. So if you direct message me, I only have about 20 to 30 people watching my lives right now. So if you do this within the week, my book just got published. Let me get my book. Hold on, let me grab it. All right, I'm back. Did you leave? All right, so I just got my book. It's not that thick. It's a very easy read. Look at that. Okay, it's a very easy read. It's only, let's see, 68. Only 68. All right, so the very first 5 people that direct message me after watching this video, I'm going to send you a free copy of my book. So direct message me. There's a fly in my house. Direct message me as you're watching this. The first 5 people that direct message me saying, I saw your video and I want to get that book, I'll send you the book. The first 5 people, okay? And what's the book about? The book is about, it's a simple manifesto on the science of toning. Look the best you've ever been naked. And what that essentially means, I heard that term first from Doug Miller, one of the greatest natural bodybuilders in the world, I believe. And he said, look, it just means just aesthetics, just looks, purely looks. You don't want to be a power lifter, you don't want to be a bodybuilder, you don't want to compete, you don't want to be a boxer, you don't want to be a football player, you don't want to be a basketball player. You don't have that goal. Why would you work out like a power lifter if you don't have a powerlifting goal? Why would you want to work out like a bodybuilder if you don't want to compete? Why would you want to eat like them and sacrifice your life like them if you don't want to compete? Be clear with your goals. So it's just a simple matter of looking the best you've ever been in front of a mirror naked. So it's a psychology and biology and the science of weight management, the real reasons why you need to manage your weight, a powerful diet and training system. I put on here a 3-part system anyone can follow to get amazing results fast. So it's a fascinating book. It's a great read. Anyway, first 5 people that message me about that book, direct message me and I'll send you a free copy of that book. All right, so if you like this video, click like on the comments on this video if you appreciated the information. If you have any ideas, thoughts, comments, or you disagree, and a lot of people might disagree, a lot of people will disagree about the methodology, so type it in the comments below. I'd love to have an interaction. And if you know anybody that will benefit from these ideas, share it with them. I'll talk to you on the next live. Bye-bye.